All right, guys, so we're here for round 2 of the Q&A with JKR and AEP. All right, Justin, I'm glad you're reading these off, man, because I'd be a little like, you know, have you ever seen the movie of Billy Madison?
Yeah.
You know what part I'm talking about, like that? It's like,
Today, Junior!
All right, so again, these are questions that were compiled. We're reading for the first time right now. So this is from @Wolfie_Reptiles. One pairing, Miguel, that you cannot wait for this season.
Sunset Clown to my pastel spot nose leopard double head.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a pastel spot nose leopard double head?
Sunset Clown, yeah. I do. If there's one Batman that I want to beat you to, it has to be the Sunset Clown.
That's gonna be the one.
Yeah. What about you?
Whatever that was, plus an extra gene. No, I honestly don't know. I have so many things I'm looking forward to, but I go blank minded when I think about like all the different stuff. There's just too many. I'm really excited about the DG clown stuff I'll make this year. You know, I've been kind of building that project for a while, and I think this year might be a kind of a leap forward.
Yeah.
And,
it has to be.
And DG pies. Oh, we have a really cool DG pie. Super OD, fire, yellow belly, leopard, DG pie potentially. I mean, like pairing forward.
Yeah, I mean, you just have a whole lot of, you know, to even go through, to even really,
It's hard to think through it all. In the end, it's just gonna come down to what the odds give us, you know. So, this is from Lopex Exeric. What are your thoughts on the scaleless microscale? I'm gonna defer to you because I've never owned one.
Well, like, just like the difference between both of them, or just overall?
The project in general. The project in general.
I think honestly, overall, they're cool snakes. I had a few of them. I don't want to breed for them anymore. I just, you know, they're a little harder to take care of, and it's not really the way that I want to go as far as, you know, like combos and stuff like that. But the scaleless stuff that I do have, I am keeping them because I do consider them pets, and I like the way they look. I think they're cool snakes, man. I think overall, making some really cool scaleless head combos, I think the scaleless head part just influences the snakes alone in some of these combos. I think they're great snakes.
Yeah, I don't have any because to me, they're a little bit, I don't know, I just think generally people in this industry, if they're into ball pythons, they want them to have scales. They're cool, but if you said, well, take the scaleless, I want to make all my snakes scaleless. I can't think of anybody ever saying that.
No.
If you said, who wants Orange Dream and their whole collection? I do, you know, so I'd rather have an Orange Dream than a scaleless.
Oh, yeah.
That's just kind of my thought process through it. Exclusive 46. My question is, how do you get ball pythons back on food around 300 grams, or do you need to force feed them if they will not eat?
No. And this is something that I actually learned from Justin, is that 300 grams, usually I haven't really had any stop for me at eating around 300 grams, but moving them around in tubs has worked, man, wonders for me. And if not, I have, you know, if they're not eating any rats, and all of us want their snakes to eat rats, I will, you know, throw in a couple of mice here and there, as long as it's eating, man, 'cause I'd rather it eat than not eat.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. You do what you gotta do as far as eating, and like, oh, you don't want to get stuck on mice, well, would you prefer it not eat at all for 6 months? Like, which is preference? And me, like, just getting the animal eating, getting it thriving, you have the ability to switch it back to rats, but if you're not going to let it eat at all the time, you're really in a bad spot. Moving them around is good, but 300 grams is not a common time for them to go off feed. That's a little concerning.
Yeah, I've had some go from like 700 to 900 grams around that range.
That's more of the common
but
zone.
Never have I had 300 grams. Usually that's around the, you know, once I get them to like 125 when they're getting some nice little rat pups, or 130, you know, from there it's like they just boom all the way to like 700-800 grams, like in a couple, not in a couple of months, but you know, fairly quick.
I think 300 grams a mouse is probably your best friend. Moving it is more of a 700-800 gram problem. Teddy Dalton Ba wrote, which gene would you remove to bring back most patterns on snakes? I know genetic powerhouses are great, but obviously we want to keep stacking but not end up with white and yellow snakes. We don't want pure white snakes, right?
Yeah. Well, it'd be mostly like the Bell complex snakes, right? All like the Lessers, Mojaves, and
yeah,
you know,
those are the ones that tend to really blank out stuff.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, you want to add genes that have really crisp blacks in them, which is not the BEL complex. Those are the most kind of like soft pastel transitions. Like, if you stay away from some of that stuff, you're going to end up having animals where you're mixing, you know, mix bold patterns instead of mixing pastel. I say pastels, but I mean not the morph pastel, but the color palette of pastel of different things. It's not going to lead you in the right direction. You want to add those on top of a good base. Redhead Exotic said, what's the best way to market yourself as a new aspiring breeder? I'll leave this one to you as a little bit newer.
I would say honestly, social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. That's the best way. I mean, it's free marketing, right? And advertisement. you could do something like that and, message a lot of other breeders, I remember in the beginning when we first started doing it, there was a couple of breeders that, we all got together, we did some kind of a giveaway, and then, but you had to follow everybody. Doing a couple of things, in the beginning could definitely help you and help you stand out from some of the other people that are just starting their social media with just pictures.
If you're like me, you're not super, super outgoing or flamboyant or anything like that, I would say, I would say focus on making great snakes. People in this industry, we're here for the snakes, we're here for the cool combos. We're not going to ignore if you make something great. That's the best way to get attention and get the positive kind of attention. We're like, wow, this guy's making moves. He made something that maybe hasn't been made before, or maybe is extremely hard to make, or whatever.
That's two good ways of, perfect.
Yeah, so there's different ways of doing it. I bought a couple of cool animals early on, and I just posted pictures of them.
Same here. That's what happened with me, because I was, came in fresh, and then I started buying all this crazy stuff and throwing them out, and they're like, you're obviously going to get a lot of hate if you buy a lot of the cool stuff, but it's,
Right. Well, people initially are always going to be like, oh, he spent money, good for him, la-di-da, and people do that to me when I first got in. I know people do that to you.
Oh, yeah. But you know what?
Eventually, though, that translates into good babies, right?
Yeah.
You're not growing them up for fun. They're going to eventually make some great stuff, and then you did make those.
Yeah, from the beginning, it was like everyone thought it was just a phase, and it was going to go through, and now it's like all the hate, that kind of hate has just gone away. Yeah. I think they realize that I'm not going anywhere.
You got to have tough skin for a while,
yeah.
Right? So this is a similar question from Jinx Tower Morphs. I'm new to the ball pythons. Is there any specific advice I should go about in my first year of breeding? It's tough because I'm 18 years removed from this. I mean, I have an idea, but it's theoretical.
Well, just to me, it's like, first year of breeding, it's hard for me because without knowing what he has, does he have a lot of, just in general?
I think more general than that. Yeah, I would say first year breeding, learn, be a student of the animal as best you can. Use this as a stepping stone to get some confidence, so that subsequent years you can maybe get some of the mistakes out of the way as much as possible. Because usually first year, my first year breeding, I had 5 females, 4 to 5 of them all produced because I had so much focus on them. Yeah. I was just literally every day put the male with a different one. We only have that many.
Yeah, no, you're right.
They almost all produced. I got a lot of confidence. And so the next year, when more girls were up to size, I pushed into it more, and I just got the ball rolling a little bit.
Yeah. With that being said, I totally agree. From our first year of breeding, it wasn't so much we were breeding crazy stuff. It was just a learning experience, pulling the eggs out, putting them in the incubator. If we had the humidity temperatures, perfectly fine. When to cut, when not to cut. Just learning those little steps. That's going to get you ready for your other crazy stuff for the following year.
Next one is from Lai the Wan. Can you do a room tour? Your place looks pretty good. And I assume that's for me. The good news is if you go to his channel, it may already be out by the time this is.
Yeah, we did a
full room tour. And I have one on my channel that we'll get in the description below as well. From BXOBS78. What would make you quit working towards a project? What decides when you're finished with it?
There's a couple of projects that I was working on this year, and I made a lot of them. I'm not going to say which ones they were, but I thought they were going to react a lot different towards a certain gene, and they totally, was just like the opposite. I couldn't even see anything of it. And I was talking to Justin about it, and the cool thing about it was it would have been either a hit or a miss. Either it would have done really, really good, and I would have been so ahead because I made so many different things, or it would have done not that good, but at least now I know, and I could move forward with that project and put it into something else. Yeah. So that's when I know. When I'm kind of done with the project, putting it in certain genes.
I look at projects kind of like stocks. I look at it like you want to be in different. Each morph is like a position. You're taking a position in that mutation based on how many you have or how strong you are on it, how much you want to push it. And so every year I'm kind of dialing up certain projects. I feel like this is where it's at.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But if I really feel like a project is not going anywhere, I just can't feel any inspiration, I actually will not just get rid of them all. I'll usually sell it down a little bit, keep a few good animals, and shelf it, and literally just let those animals grow up, the best few, and to let inspiration maybe come over the next couple of years.
And maybe something will pop up.
Maybe something will pop up, and it'll go crazy. Because I remember once, it's actually early on in lavenders, I was actually almost got out of lavender albino.
Really?
Can you imagine that? It seems crazy now, right?
Yeah.
But at the time, we couldn't find any lavender combos that really mattered, except for the dreamsicle at the time. And I was like, you know what, maybe I should just get rid of all my lavenders and just do some dreamsicle combos only. But then guess what? Over the next couple of years, we found out that you could do a leopard dreamsicle or leopard lavenders make crazy patterns, or yellow belly. And then we found Enchi. Enchi transformed the entire project, right? With the whole starburst stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was really glad that, I never actually got rid of all those lavenders. I kind of just like set the best ones aside, and then I was ready to capitalize when the information came forward.
And
what to do.
And speaking on that combo alone, oh my goodness.
There's so much to
you
do
see
there.
what's next.
Yeah,
And
so
it's so amazing.
We're really excited about it.
Yeah.
For sure. This is from Dudes Reptiles. As a business owner and entrepreneurs, what would be some tips y'all have for running a business efficiently? I think efficiency comes through
With experience
time,
and
right?
time.
I think that is the right answer though. Is like you're as an entrepreneur, your goal I think is to accelerate the learning curve as fast as possible, which means you got to get in there and start just doing until you find a problem that has to be fixed, and then find out what's not working and fix it. Really is the best way, because you can't even conceive yet of the questions you're going to have at the next stage. I can't even know the next stage that I'm going to have. But the goal is to get there as fast as possible and deal with them strongly. Are there any obstacles you've overcome so far that you feel like was a big obstacle to kind of get to where you're at?
Yeah, I mean, but it almost seems like that's like almost every season, every
Something
month,
new.
something new. Always,
Yeah.
I mean, I always call you, but like I said, just like like within time and experience and learning all these hurdles, man. I still don't feel confident in certain things, but I mean, I'm learning and growing as every day and every month. But I still can't say I feel confident being like, oh man, like I have this down, like 100%. Justin will be the first one to tell you, man. I've even told him, hey dude, can I give you like a monthly rate on payment? Just answer all my questions.
Well, yeah.
And
the only way I know how to answer them is I've had the questions myself, and I've either asked others and gotten answers, or just experienced it long enough that I've come to the other side and feel like I have an answer. I don't feel like I have a lot of questions anymore, like that I'm overcoming. That concerns me, because I worry sometimes about like being complacent, like feeling I got it down, and the learning curve has slowed down, and I'm like, what if I'm not being as open to the next phase, or where to go next, and what to do? And I think that's a problem for anybody who becomes establishment in a business. So I spend a lot of time just thinking about like, what are you missing, Justin? Like what's going on out there that you're too busy to see, or you're missing because you think you know it all.
That's true.
So I don't know. There's always something. That's my point. There's always something. Just dig into it, learn more. All right. So this one's from Miguel. What is Justin hiding?
You know what?
Stop.
There's a couple of rooms up there that were locked.
Don't even.
So from what I know, no, he's not hiding nothing. Something funny, and I'll be totally honest. When I went to his old facility, and he moved over here, I remember we talk a lot every week. Sometimes almost every day. And ask him like, hey, did you move? Because I'm curious. I'm like, because I saw his biggest collection was. I'm like, are you growing? Are you getting bigger? Are you gonna put in more racks? He's like, no. He goes, I'm gonna stay the same. And I'm here in the back of my mind. I'm like, there's no way he's lying. So when I came in here today, I do the whole thing. I'm touring around. I'm looking at everything. The first thing that I'm looking at is when I walk in, it's like the incubator. I mean, this thing must be humongous. I look at him and I tell him, dude, is your incubator the same size as the other one? He goes, oh, it's a foot longer. So with that being said, no, unless he has another facility and like all these acres that he has in the woods somewhere, no, he's not hiding anything. If anything, it looks the same. It's stationed a lot different and actually in his old facility. That's all the difference.
Yeah, we just spaced it out a little bit.
So he's not really, that I know, he's not hiding nothing.
Yeah, and the thing is that these days in any business, right, eyeballs are revenue, right?
Yeah.
And so you're highly incentivized to share the cool stuff with people when you make it, and that's what these YouTube videos are about for both of us. Is you get a chance to share the passion of what you've made, you get the eyeballs, you get the views, and then later on when the animals become available, people want to buy them from you. And so we're not hiding.
Yeah, I've been here. Yeah, I've been here for 2 days. Tomorrow's gonna be the next day, and I've gone through almost every tub. And every time I go, I leave and I come back, I'm like, how did I miss this? So if anything, if he's hiding something, it's because I just didn't look through all the tubs. That's it.
All right, so that's the last question.
And thank you guys as always, man. Dude, we love doing these things. And again, let us know if you guys really like these things. Comment down below, because we would love to do something maybe once a month for you guys. I mean,
maybe over Zoom if
that would be the easy way, because I mean, you got two different perspectives. Someone that's been doing this for like 15, 18 years to one that's new. So you have like the all the experience from like the years and years of putting it in. Someone that's new getting into it, and
extremely valuable. Because like I said, on some of these questions, I feel so far removed from the early on that I don't
feel comfortable like answering them, because I consider myself still really fresh to this. Even a lot of people always like make it seem, or they feel that I've been really far into it, but no, I'm still as fresh and new as a lot of you guys are.
It's a valuable perspective though, because you had success. So Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Lots a lot, you guys. Appreciate you watching.
Till next time. Peace.